Today, the prosecution will try to convince the judge to issue a temporary restraining order because they want Kwame Kilpatrick's restitution paid before he makes a dime off of selling his story. Kwame Kilpatrick's soon-to-be-released tell-all book is bringing familiar faces back in front of Wayne County Circuit Court Judge David Groner. On Wednesday afternoon, Wayne County Assistant Prosecutors Athena Syringas and Robert Spada will be trying to convince the judge to issue a temporary restraining order on any advance sales of the former mayor's upcoming book. Surrendered, The Rise, Fall, and Revelation of Kwame Kilpatrick is selling for $26.95 and is due to be released August 1st. But before the imprisoned Kilpatrick can make a dime, the prosecutor wants the judge to order that an escrow account be set up so the profits are forfeited to pay Kilpatrick's restitution. He still owes the city of Detroit more than $860,000 as part of his plea deal.
This is like all of the prior hearings in this area. It's follow the money.
Wayne State University law professor Peter Henning says during the hearing, the prosecution will likely want to question the book's publisher and the co-author of the book, as well as the former mayor, about how much money they have made on advance sales.
Did he get an advance, for example, and has it been structured? He could have assigned his right to royalties to someone else, perhaps to his wife, and then what's going to happen there is the government's going to have to try to reach that person and say, no, you don't get the royalties, we get them first. So it's not as simple as just going and grabbing money out of a bank account.
Henning says the Michigan Crime Victims' Rights Act is designed to prevent someone who's been convicted of a crime from profiting from it. But Kilpatrick attorney Daniel Haji filed this motion with the court, arguing that the former mayor has a free speech right to tell his story.
He's sitting in prison today and he's thinking about, how am I going to pay restitution? There are many who have profited just from the name of Kwame Kilpatrick. Many. And Kwame Kilpatrick is a human being, just like you and I.
The prosecution may also want to find out more about the relationship between the co-writer of the book and the former mayor.
As long as there is a separate contractual relationship, the government wouldn't have a claim unless it can establish some type of sham relationship, that money that's being paid to the co-author is being funneled back to the former mayor.
If Kilpatrick's book is successful enough to pay off the restitution, he won't get to profit from it right away. First, the Department of Corrections could try to recoup the cost of his incarceration. And then there's the federal government, ready and able to seize Kilpatrick assets since he's under indictment for racketeering.
The power of the criminal RICO charge is it gives the government the right to seize assets even before you're convicted of the crime.
This hearing gets underway at 1:30 here at the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. Of course, the Action News investigators will have team coverage, will be blogging from the courtroom, and of course, we'll be streaming the hearing live on our website, WXYZ.com. Reporting live in downtown Detroit, I'm Heather Catallo, Channel 7 Action News.
Heather, what are you hearing about who will testify this afternoon?
Well, I'm told that the co-author of the book and someone from the publishing company will be taking the witness stand, and I am also told that Kwame Kilpatrick will be appearing in person in court today.
All right, Heather Catallo will be following it online at 1:30 today. Thank you so much.
And joining us this noon on Channel 7 is our legal analyst, Jerry Gleason. Hello, Jerry. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. All right, Kwame Kilpatrick has not had a lot of success in court over the past couple of years, that's for sure. How do you see this thing breaking out today and what he's going to have to do, he and his attorney, to get what they want?
Really, I think it's the prosecutor's going to have to take the first step and try, because what they want to do is just stop the payments, and that's what a temporary restraining order does. It says to an individual or to a party, don't send something somewhere, and I think what they're trying to do is stop money from going anywhere till they can sort it out.
What do you think his chance of kind of winning this, so to speak, is? I mean, how are the arguments stacking up here, do you think?
Well, the prosecutor's proceeding under Michigan's quote-unquote son of Sam law, and that has been challenged in the past. It went up to the United States Supreme Court in New York, and their law was originally struck down because it was too widely and broadly structured. Here, this is a fairly narrow statute, so we should have a good chance to see the prosecutor prevail.
We've had so much Kwame Kilpatrick news over the past few years. Joanne and you were talking during the break, too. How long does something like this take? I mean, what is the process for this to be heard and a decision to be made?
Well, again, you're looking at the prosecution trying to reach out to look at a contractual agreement between ostensibly Mr. Kilpatrick and a publishing agency. They have to look at the contract, see who's going to get the proceeds if there are any. There's a co-author. Is Mr. Kilpatrick going to get profits? Is there someone else who's going to receive the profits? Is there and you heard Professor Henning, is there a sham set up so that they're not going to go to Mr. Kilpatrick to avoid the restitution payments? That's all going to be part of this hearing.
It sounds like when you bring up all that stuff that this could go on for quite a while. Is it likely, Jerry, in your mind that this could wrap up today and we could get a decision soon, or what are you thinking?
Well, we've seen hearings go more than a day in the past just because of lawyers asking questions. The rules of evidence don't apply in this type of hearing, so you could see Judge Groner kind of take control and say, let's get to the point here and really get to what the issue is, which is where is the money, how much the money, where's the money going, and does the prosecution meet the standard under the statute to reach out and put it into an escrow fund?
Because he's a busy man, you said, Judge Groner. You've been in front of him before, so if he's got a lot of other things to work on, he could make this thing go even quicker than you'd expect.
Correct. I was in there Monday. He had a full docket, so that's the way it is in his court every day.
You know, you've got experience here. You're an attorney. Who do you think the most responsibility falls on in this case?
The responsibility, well, I think it's the prosecutor's obligation under, or the county attorney, because Mr. Kilpatrick has made some issue about that as well. But I think it's incumbent upon the prosecutor to get the motion to demonstrate that the proceeds from the book fit the statute, and they should put in those funds should be put into an escrow fund so that they can be meted out to the various funds and people that need the money.
Does it seem like that's a pretty easy thing to do according to the case and what you've seen so far for what they're trying to do? Because, you know, there's different cases where you look and go, boy, that's going to be tough. And there's other cases where we say, well, that shouldn't be too easy for somebody.
Well, again, we don't know what the content of the book is yet, and the statute allows for if the book is about the crime, memorabilia from the crime, or because the author's notoriety results from a crime. And having not seen the content of the book yet, I think that's where the open question is.
All right, Jerry Gleason, thank you very much. We'll check back in with you in a little bit, too. You can watch the Kilpatrick book battle in court live again on WXYZ.com starting at 1:30. And be sure to look for investigator Ross Jones as he blogs about the case from the courtroom today. Vic?